Hey guys, Useless here, and I did not write a script for this week's video. But I watched Mulan. That's a it's a thing that I watched. So let's talk about it, I guess. Yeah, no, but it's a pretty important thing, I guess, to talk about, just because this is a movie that could potentially be the first film in this new era of premium like Disney movies, as opposed to them coming out in theaters, them dropping on Disney Plus, and then you having to pay a fee to see it. Or it could just completely fail, and movies will just come out in theaters like they always have. We're just gonna have to wait and see what happens with that. But yeah, honestly, Mulan is fine. It's, it's okay. Like, it's better than Aladdin. That's not saying much, but it is better than Aladdin. So take that with what for what you will. I, yeah, I was actually kind of looking forward to it, just because I'd heard that they weren't going to be including the songs from the original animated movie. And I don't know, I guess that was just kind of intriguing to me. I was like, okay, maybe they'll do something unique with this movie. Maybe they'll, I don't know, take it in a bit more of a serious direction than the original movie. And they don't really do any of that. It's just kind of the original animated movie without all of like the charm and interesting aspects of that movie. Like, you don't have the dragon character with Eddie Murphy, and you don't have all of the cool music. It's just kind of a bland movie. It's like I said before, it's not terrible, but I feel like they might as well have just added in the songs, because like that's the weird thing about the movie. Like, it doesn't even really have more of a serious tone than the original Mulan. Like, it's still like pretty goofy and cartoonish. Like, there's just a lot of like weird humor in it. So like, it's not like taking itself deathly serious. So like, yeah, I don't really understand why you wouldn't just include the songs, or at least include like orchestral versions of those songs. Like, I figured that we would at least get like orchestral versions of those songs, like in the score. And you get it sometimes, but for like most of the movie, it's just this like original score that's like fine. But honestly, if they were like orchestral versions of the classic songs, like, it would probably make the movie like 10 times more enjoyable. Like, how do you not have an orchestral version of I'll Make a Man Out of You during the training like montage? Like, there's still a training montage, but it's just this like random original music playing during it, and it's just like, okay, I guess this is happening. Like, if they had just an orchestral version of I'll Make a Man Out of You, that, again, it would have just made it 10 times better. I honestly just don't understand their decision here. And it's like, yeah, like the movie itself, you follow Mulan. She does her thing. She goes to war instead of her dad, and it's just like, it's Mulan again. She does all the things. She pretends to be a man, but then she's not a man, and people accept her. It's like, it's Mulan, but just not done particularly well. Like, again, it's fine. And now that that aspect of the original Mulan was all that interesting because, like, honestly, I don't have that much nostalgia for the original movies, but this live action version, I mean, to be fair, I haven't seen the original Mulan in a bit, but like, I don't think that this live action version is like especially better or anything like that. Like, I can't imagine it being much better than the original. So it's just like you're just doing Mulan again, but without all the fun, interesting aspects of it. And I would say, I guess, like the biggest difference in this is that this adaptation includes like this witch character that I'm fairly certain wasn't in the original movie, unless I'm just like completely, unless I just completely don't remember that movie at all. But I'm pretty sure she wasn't in the original movie, and like this is probably the worst character in the movie. Like she's just not. She's awful. The thing that like the themes that they're trying to convey with that character are just so in your face that it's honestly insulting. And yeah, so like with them introducing this witch character, like the original villain from the movie, he's kind of just like pushed off to the side and they literally don't do anything with him. Like he's just kind of there and he's not even all that menacing. He's just kind of a he's the villain of the story that Mulan fights at the end, and yeah, he's just not interesting at all. And yeah, it's and like even like visually the movie isn't all that great. And again, it's not as much of a visual mess as Aladdin was. Like there are some decent shots, there's some decent choreography. Although actually that is kind of a cool thing about this movie is that they actually show like battle scenes in this, so you actually see people fighting, and that's pretty cool. But a lot of it's not great just because the choreography is really weird. It's really choppy, and there's just a lot of like weird cuts in the movie. So the fighting, it's cool that it's there, but it's not all that great. And and yeah, just like as just visually, like I was kind of hoping that this would be like a real visual treat, and there are some cool shots of like the scenery and stuff, but like half of it is like really good, and then the other half is just like weirdly just green screened in, and it's really obvious, and it's just like it's honestly not acceptable. Like Disney has poured millions and millions of dollars into this. The movie was delayed, so you're telling me that you couldn't like in the time that you've been waiting to release this movie, like you're telling me you couldn't have gone in and touched up on some of like the green screen parts to make it look a bit better. Like that's just kind of the thing. Like this is a Disney movie. They have so many millions of dollars. It's crazy that their movies just don't look all that great. And yeah, I honestly don't know if I really have much more to say about this movie. It's just fine. Um if you like I would definitely say that it's not worth $30 like at all. Um I personally like I got together with some people and we kind of like split up the price. So if you want to do that, then I would say then yeah, sure, go for it. But if you're just like by yourself and you're wondering if this movie is worth $30, it's definitely not. But yeah, no, honestly, I'm just more interested to see how this movie does and if Disney is gonna end up doing more releases like this in the future. I think it'd be really interesting to see if they released Black Widow like this. Just because that's a movie that I think will drive a lot of people to pay that $30 fee. If they want to make this be a normal thing that people accept, paying $30 to stream premium movies at home ahead of time, then I'm not sure if this Mulan movie is the movie to do that, just because it's not particularly good. But I mean, who am I to say? Like, all of these Disney live action remakes have made like $1 billion each, so maybe this thing is gonna kill movie theaters and drive more movies to be released on streaming services like this. Who knows? But I don't know. For whatever my opinion is worth, it's just kind of okay. It is a Mulan movie, and it is another one of these Disney live action remakes. If any of those things are appealing to you, then check it out. If any of those things aren't appealing to you, then honestly, you can wait for it to come out on like the regular streaming service in, I think, December or something like that. So, yep, I don't know. It's gonna be it for me, and bye.